The Chargers' Joey Bosa is ready for his annual trip to injured reserve. Some idiot actually wondered aloud if the Rams are better off without Cooper Kupp. And a Japanese phenom is on the open market in Major League Baseball. Just not that Japanese phenom. We already knew that. Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. So it is November 21st, 2023. I get it. I still sound like garbage. Totally understand. Feel better. A little better, though, with the cold meds. Man, I understand the hype behind cold medicine used in illegal drugs right now. I feel much better. But at any rate, let's talk LA sports. If you like being in the know about LA, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment, because it is always good when you're talking LA sports. At these days, it's actually the bright point of my day. So before we go through the news and notes and look at the scoreboard, all hail the Clippers and their winning streak of 2. Clippers 124, San Antonio 99. Paul George scored a game-high 28 points for the Clips. Meanwhile, the Kings, Trevor Moore scored twice. They defeated Phoenix 4-1. And fourth-ranked Marquette edged UCLA basketball. Sebastian Mack scored 25 points for the Bruins. This is why, despite the fact that the Bruins lost a ton of talent during the offseason, why I was saying that maybe people piling on UCLA and the national punditry were being a little premature. There is something about Mick Cronin and the way he's able to preach team defense. I'm just saying, the guy has a pedigree. You give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know where the Bruins are going to wind up, but if you're only going to lose to the fourth-ranked team in the nation by 2 points with almost an entirely new roster, maybe the Bruins, people trying to push the panic button on the Bruins, maybe that was a little premature. Meanwhile, today, Utah is facing the Lakers at 7 o'clock. If the Lakers win, they advance in the so-called in-season tournament / cynical cash grab. But let's start off with the Chargers. Oft-injured defensive end Joey Bosa became a little more oft-injured. Brandon Staley said Bosa is likely headed to the injured reserve list with a right foot sprain. This would mean that Bosa is out for 4 games if that move happens. Bosa is second on the team with 6.5 sacks. By the way, Khalil Mack is already in double figures with sacks this year. Bosa had been on the injured reserve before. He played only 5 games last year due to an injured groin. And as you guys know, we at Faithful Angelenos Sports have a very strict don't talk about other men's groins policy. So having said that, this move, if it happens, is not nearly as catastrophic. Love them cold meds. This move is not nearly as catastrophic for the Bolts as it would be in years past. Credit to the front office. Credit to them. You could say a lot of things about the way the Chargers run things, but they saw the possibility of Bosa or Mack getting injured before the year, and they wound up drafting Tuipulotu from USC. The rookie has 4 sacks already this year, so that's not much of a drop-off. This is the time for Tuipulotu to actually show where he stands, how much he's learned so far in his rookie year, and for that matter, how much gas he has in the tank. There's a huge difference between a spread-out college season of about 12 games and a 17-week NFL regular season. By the way, linebacker Tanner Muse also has a knee sprain. It is yet to be determined if he's going on injured reserve for the Chargers. Cooper Kupp is considered day-to-day with a sprained ankle. Sean McVay said it's a real possibility that Kupp could play against the Arizona Cardinals this weekend. Now, I've been clowning this Rams blog called the Turf Show Times lately, because previously they made this idiotic push to try to say that Carson Wentz could actually do a better job than Matthew Stafford. And Turf Show Times is straight up doubled down on stupid. Absolutely. I admit I did not bother to read this post, But the guy actually is thinking that the Rams offense would be better off without Cooper Kupp. It was such a stupid assertion that, look, you ever get surrounded by so much stupid, you feel like Popeye. That's all I can stands, I can't stands no more. Well, I've had enough of stupid. I need a break from stupid. So I did not read the Turf Show Times, I admit. Because if you ask the question, that suggests stupid, okay? Kupp 2 years ago led the NFL in receptions, led the NFL in receiving yards, led the NFL in touchdowns by a wide receiver. The man caught the game-winning score in the Super Bowl. And now, less than 2 years later, you're bothering to ask if the Rams offense is better off without him. No. Let me suggest something that actually is based in reality. The Rams are getting back running back Kyren Williams this week. Kyren Williams, the fact that he was gone might have made the difference in the Rams offense. See, it's not just whether or not he could run the ball, move the chains, because he was getting better at it as time went on. But the thing that they really like about Kyren Williams is that he helps out the offensive line. He's the best blocking running back on the Rams. Not only does he know how to block, is he not afraid to get his face mask and just blast it into somebody else. He studies the defense. He's saying, okay, this defense is going to blitz over here, so I have a feeling the offensive line might have trouble over here. He anticipates where the blitz is coming from, and that gives Matthew Stafford that extra half second. In the NFL, you have to get your pass off the quarterback's hands in less than 3 seconds. So we're talking fractions of a second here. Kyren Williams provides the fraction of a second that is needed in order for Matthew Stafford to make the correct choice. And the offensive linemen, by the way, have gone on record saying that about Kyren Williams. So the fact that he's coming back and that the linemen agree, Kyren Williams knows how to pick up the blitz. Kyren Williams knows how to run the ball. I have a feeling the Rams offense could look a little more effective this week. Just saying. Starting today, Japanese right-handed pitcher Yoshinobu Yamamoto has a 45-day negotiating window with major league teams. Now, many teams are going to want this 25-year-old phenom on the roster, but there is a reason to tap the brakes if you are a Dodgers fan. And it's not whether or not you would want this kid on the roster, because let's be real, the Dodgers pitching staff last year, who was it, right? It was maybe Clayton Kershaw, Bobby Miller, and Pray a lot. So yeah, the idea of getting a 25-year-old who was lighting it up in Japan seems kind of optimistic. But the projected contract Yamamoto could get is 7 years, $203 million. And you might say, well, so what, James? The Dodgers are fabulously wealthy, right? Fair question. But you do have to understand Andrew Friedman's modus operandi before you get so hyped up as for so many of these guys joining the Dodgers. Because the contract would be over $20 million a year, right? Since Friedman took over baseball operations, he has only given out $20 million a year pitching contracts to 3 pitchers: Clayton Kershaw, Zach Greinke, and Trevor Bauer. Smarter prediction as to what Friedman would do, is probably to gather prospects together in a trade for an elite pitcher. And there are multiple reports that are suggesting that the Dodgers are chatting with the White Sox about Dylan Cease. I'm sorry. Again, cold meds. As much as I have been crapping on LA Times for their UCLA beat writer, Ben Bolch, I think they actually have a terrific secondary USC reporter. Can't pronounce her name. She's an Asian lady. Last name's pronounced Wen, I know that much. But she definitely covers the bases. She's definitely doing a more complete job of covering Trojans football than Bolch is doing for UCLA. And I bring that up because she correctly noted the Trojans' over-reliance on the transfer portal for both offensive and defensive lines, especially the offense. Caleb Williams looked like he was in a Benny Hill skit back there for most of the year. USC had 3 new starters in the offensive line alone. By the way, 5 incoming for defensive line. All 8 of them were transfers. Lincoln Riley admitted in the loss, for example, to Oregon, that the Ducks, quote, played better on the line of scrimmage than we did, unquote. Moreover, USC's offensive line coach, Josh Henson, has pretty much had a come to Jesus moment. He said, quote, the biggest thing, unquote, the staff wants to accomplish now is building an offensive line through high school recruiting and developing them, which is music to my ears, unlike my voice right now. Now, if you're wondering, for the next year, USC has 4 offensive linemen committed to joining the school. There are rumors flying around about another international star coming to the LA Galaxy. I'm not giving the name. He's been rumored before, he didn't show up. And the reason that I'm also not giving the name is something I've said repeatedly. I have zero trust in the international soccer press. You think baseball scribes are insane for saying the Dodgers are trying to get every one of those players? Multiply that times 100, and that's how incredibly stupid the international soccer press is. Because you're talking about leagues all across the globe. And everybody is trying to use everybody else's negotiating leverage for a better contract. And I have to tell you, for the problems that the LA Times have, they do have a pretty good soccer reporter in Kevin Baxter, and he reported that there isn't really anything to the rumor. UCLA football has lost a key recruit for the class of 2024. Running back Derek McFall has McFallen out of love with the school. He is a 4-star recruit out of Texas. He says he still likes UCLA, but he considers, quote, I feel like it doesn't fit me outside of football, unquote. So maybe if you're a Bruins fan and you're thinking, okay, he can't hit the academic standards for the school, if that's what you're thinking, I don't blame you. I don't. Can't prove it, but I don't blame you, right? Let's be fair about this. So McFall is now looking at other schools, which I'm assuming have academic standards. McFall, by the way, was the highest rated recruit in the Bruins class, though. And we all know how much Chip Kelly loves running the football in the spread offense. So that's going to sting. Angel City FC has announced it is, quote, planning to execute the contracts, unquote, on all 7 free agents, which means that the NWSL team plans to keep the roster as intact as much as possible. Doesn't mean that they're all staying, by the way. It just means that there is an intent to keep them. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me about the Chargers with their problems already and now adding Joey Bosa on top of it. Tell me if you actually think the Rams are better off without Cooper Kupp. And if you enjoy the content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully sound with the frogs removed from my throat. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Cortez Queso production. Take care.